What is going on, people? Welcome to the video. I thought it would only make sense to do a video today on my top 3 things when opening a new facility. On the launch of our 5th gym, FitnessWorks Bristol, I thought what I'm going to start doing, is giving back a bit of my knowledge, what I've learned over the past 6 years now on starting businesses and starting gyms in particular, or fitness brands in particular, give you some insight. So today I thought, why not start with my top 3 things? And remember, I'm no professional. I haven't done this for 15-20 years like some people have. I'm only going to give you my opinions and what I've learned myself. And generally 9 times out of 10, what I've learnt myself is always the hard way. It may be common sense majority of this, or to some of you it may be mind-blowingly amazing, but I'm thinking it's going to be more of the first one. And when I come to say it, you might be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's just basically pretty bloody easy sometimes. You just need to have the right people around you, and you need to know exactly how you want stuff, where you want stuff, and how the timeline is going to be structured in your head. You need to have everything wrote down. You need to have everything literally planned to a T, and then it all comes off very, very well. And my number one, like you can see in the thumbnail, we have 3 points. Number 1 is location. You do need the right location. People always say, build it and they will come, kind of thing. I think that's the saying. It's not necessarily true. Location to me is key. We live in a world now where everything needs to be super convenient. They need to be able to park their car. That's probably the most common question actually we get when people call us or email us, do you have a car park? There's a lot of gyms now that don't have car parks. Obviously, to get planning permission on these warehouses, which are a whole of the video, you do need to get change of usage, which is D2 from whatever it usually is. Ours is usually warehouse to D2. So there is parking requirements when it comes to opening a facility. You need a certain amount of car parking space per square foot. If you want to research about that, go ahead and crack on. I'm not going to tie it back because it's pretty boring. One thing is location, I believe. You need to have the right demographic to what your target market is. So for us, for example, all our locations, I go on something called streetchecker.com, and you can see exactly how many people own their house outright, if they're mortgaged, what the demographic of people is, what the age, the race. You can see what kind of money they're on. You can see whether or not they've got a manager or a CEO job, or they're on benefits. Which unfortunately, if like the area you're opening up is on benefits, majority is on benefits, and they're in the red, then selling £45 an hour personal training packages to this demographic and this market isn't really going to work. Maybe your $9.99 gym may absolutely thrive there, so you may need to think about your business model a bit more. For us, we go for the higher end because that is what we're all about. We're quite expensive per hour and per month rates, but that is who we market to. That is what all our Google and Facebook ads is based around. It's based around that certain demographic of people. Not $9.99, but again, we're not $89.99. Well, our gym membership's bang in the middle. Personal training, yeah, we might be a bit higher, but we give a lot back for it, I believe. So your area or your location is key. One last thing on location is, say you do open up in the middle of town, but there isn't anywhere to park the car, or the client needs to pay £2 per hour to park their car. Not really going to work. Because if someone has to pay £2 every time they go into the gym, then I also want to pay your £40 a month membership. So location is key. Just because you're raring to go and open a facility and you find a place which looks good on the inside, but the location and the parking and stuff isn't ideal, you're going to be a bit of a ball ache once it's open. It's going to be a lot of trouble. You're going to have just a bit of a headache. Like, we try to have a big car park in an ideal location which is based around a certain amount of houses. We do have a model that we stick to, and so far so good. So far it has worked and it's paid off. So location, please make sure that you fully look at the location, do your research, search the people that you're trying to target, make sure your ideal client or your ideal member is in that area. Okay. Number 2 is money, cash. We all want cash money. We all love money. We all want to make money, but this is about the initial investment. A few people now come and ask me about opening a FitnessWorks franchise, and then we do struggle in this country to talk about money, I believe. Like if you said how much money you got, people would be like, whoa. But at the end of the day, if you want to buy into or create your own business, you're going to need some form of capital. Like you don't probably need as much as you think. So for example, I personally believe you could probably open your own facility with between 10 and 20,000 pounds of your own money, and then you can asset finance, or you can fund the rest through the banks, or I don't know, whatever. If you own a home, or you might have all the money yourself. Or probably if you did have all the money yourself, I probably wouldn't choose to use all that. But if you were to open a smallish facility, maybe 10 to 20 grand, maybe a little bit more, could probably open you your first ever business. You are going to need some form of capital. We'll sometimes come to you and be like, well, I could just borrow it all for the banks. Yeah, you could potentially do that, but then you've got such a high monthly expenditure to pay the loan back or to pay the asset finance back that if you don't hit your targets, you're screwed. Literally screwed. Then all of a sudden, the business that you've created to enjoy and to kind of make the life that you've always wanted is all of a sudden a massive headache, and you're working your ass off just to pay that loan repayment back. And then if you don't hit it, you get yourself in a whole world of pain, which I never ever want to find out. We always do try to open our gyms on the minimum amount of money as possible, and we've actually done very, very well of opening all our 3 and now Jason's 4th on not huge amounts of capital. You're not talking £250,000, you're talking below 100 grand. Then it's not so stressful to pay back over 5 years. You will always need some form of capital. Don't think you can just go and open a gym with no money in the bank. Because you've got a vision and you see this amazing vision working and planning out and being the $1 million idea. Like I'm full of them, every single day I'm coming up with a new idea. But sometimes you need to sit back and be like, is it gonna be that much effort to put into that? Is the reward gonna be there at the end? And if it is, go for it. But if you're not fully passionate and you're not fully invested in your idea, don't want to put in more work than you ever will in your whole entire life, stick to your day job. Stick to PTing in your local gym. Because opening a gym is not enjoyable 365 days a year. It is very, very stressful sometimes. And with so many moving parts in these facilities, there's always something which needs fixing. Let's put it like that. Number 3. Staff, love and hate them now. I love that. We've got a sick little bunch at the moment. Not even little anymore. We're cracking on pretty high amounts of staff nowadays. But you will need some form of staff. You can't do it all on your own. If there's a pair of you doing it, like 2 of you opening your own facility, then you need to figure out a shift pattern. I worked from 6 in the morning till 9:30 at night for about 2 years, solidly 7 days a week. I was exhausted, I was knackered, it wore me out, and I wasn't giving the company back as much energy as I should have. We grew and we got a lot of staff in, and now I still do tons of hours, but I can dip off at 3 o'clock and come talk to a camera, which is ideal. But you need to the kind of realization that you can't do it all yourself. You might need salespeople. You're definitely gonna need more personal trainers. And the way you need to look at it, if you've got a member of staff on the gym floor, they're making you money. Stop thinking as the staff salary as a huge overhead and a bill, because whatever they're making, you're going to be making your fair share or your fair chunk too. Especially how we do it, we get the clients for the trainers, and then we kind of do a percentage with the trainers. So when they're working, I'm getting my percentage while the gym's getting its percentage. So you are going to need staff. You can't do it all on your own. But be very wary about the staff, because obviously when you start to grow, all of a sudden if that staff member is not making you money, it becomes an expense. Then it becomes something that you don't want. If you've got people sat on reception just texting on their phone all the time, not really giving the company anything back, then you need to kind of reassess and be like, do I actually need that person? Do I actually need somebody at this time? Do I need somebody all day this day, or could I maybe try and get a personal trainer or do a class there so I've actually got people coming into the gym? You need to try and make the gym work every single day of the week. Granted, maybe on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, you are going to have to pay someone to open the gym and keep it running. But during the week, we've kind of come up with a model now where there's trainers in all day, every day. They're PTing all day, every day. Now, all of a sudden, we're making money back at every point of the day instead of giving money out to keep the gym open. Obviously it doesn't always work like that. That is kind of best case scenario, and there is many times where obviously I've got sales staff now, we've got gym managers, we've got loads of stuff, so we're kind of a little bit past that point now. But when we first started, I tried to make it my goal that we had somebody in PTing 3/4 of the time during that week, so then we're always making, even if it's just a couple of quid. But if you think about it, you're not paying someone £7 an hour to sit behind the desk, you're actually making £2. So all of a sudden you're making £9, that way you're saving £9 an hour, not £2. Whatever it is, that's kind of like just a little, well, just a bit of a made up number off the top of my head. You don't need staff, but you need to make sure you're making the most out of them. At the start, sometimes I was kind of a bit nice and tried to say, oh, you're doing me a favour. But no one's doing anyone a favour. You're a partnership. You and your staff are a partnership, and you need to work together to come up with the best solution. There will be times where you might fall out with people, or you might have disagreements. It's fine, it's part of the business. I've disagreed with many people that I've still got in the gym at the moment. We've had run-ins where I don't believe things should be done a certain way, they believe it should be done a different way. But it doesn't matter, because at the end you come to an agreement, and that is what you do moving forwards. So you will need staff, people, and just look at staff as they are making you money, all right? So that is my 3 tips to opening a new gym. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Peace.